Hello, my name's Rebecca Edwards and this is a yoga sequence designed at mainly targeting the side body. We're going to start off on your hands and knees. Hands below your shoulders, spread the hands, knees below the hips, and begin circling your hips round. Make the circles as small or as large as you want to, just so it feels good. Change direction. And then place the hands a little further forwards than where they were. Shift your weight forwards so your shoulders come more in line with your hands and lower the hips slightly, look forwards. And then draw the hips toward the heels, arms stretched in front. Inhale as you come forwards, lower the hips a little, look forwards. Exhale as you move the bottom back toward the heels. 3 more, inhale forwards. You can push into the top of the feet so your knees might just clear the ground. Then lower the knees down as you sit back. 2 more, forwards, optional, press into the feet so the knees lift off the ground. Lower the knees, sit back. 1 more, forwards, spreading the hands, keep the arms straight. And then sit back to a child's pose, reach the arms in front. See how that is in your upper back initially, just pressing into the hands, reaching long. Then walk your hands together until the thumbs meet and feel how that changes around your shoulder blades. You get a little bit more sensation around the base of the shoulder blades. Take this to a side child's pose. So your hands step just off the side of your mat or just slightly out to the side. Think of a nipple either side of your thigh as you reach out with the arms. So I'm going to my left. I'm going to reach long with my right arm. And then when you go the other way, I'm going to my right. So I'm going to reach long with my left arm. And then back to centre. Lifting just a little way so I can tuck my toes under, moving the bottom toward the heels. Forwards, bottom toward the heels, knees off the floor. Forwards, bottom toward the heels, knees off the floor and rolling back on the balls of the feet. Forwards, bottom back, knees off the floor and roll over the balls of the feet so the legs start to slowly straighten out, let the head relax. You might still keep a little bend in the knees here, but if you can, roll over the balls of the feet so the legs extend out more and more as your flexibility develops. Push into the hands and feel how the tailbone of the spine, like it had an arrow on the end, wants to point up and away from your hands. And your hands pressing firm into the floor. Walk your hands toward your feet. Once your hands get to your feet, roll your spine up to standing. And then as you roll your spine up to standing, when you're looking down, just check your feet are hip distance apart. Find that by feeling the 2 bony points on the front of the pelvis and line your feet with those 2 bony points. Stay facing down the line of your mat, lift your toes off the ground, activating the soles of the feet and sit down into chair, arms straight in front of you with your toes lifted. Feel with your toes lifted. You're more aware of the soles of the feet perhaps. Can you be in the centre of the heel, even across the ball of the foot, or the balls of the feet? Sit down with the hips, but keep the chest slightly lifted so your chest could look forwards in the direction of the hands. Feel nice and firm in your legs. They're really having to work hard here with the toes lifted. Couple more breaths. Staying long in the lower back, staying nice and long through to the crown. As you come to standing, lower the toes down, push through the feet. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the arrow again on the tailbone end of the spine and try and get the arrow to point down toward the heels. And then the opposite end of that arrow is at the crown of your head. Try and get that to point straight up to the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, let your arms be heavy. Press into the feet and feel your waist get taller as you press firmly into the floor. Then opening your eyes, inhale, take your arms out wide. And exhale, take your arms, right arm over the chest and left hand holding your right arm just above the elbow. Squeeze the arm into the chest. Inhale as you open. And this time your left arm across the chest and your right hand pressing on the left arm as you squeeze it in toward the chest. And then inhale as your arms open again. And exhale, bring your hands together in a prayer position and bring your feet together. Once your feet are together, inhale, open the arms. Take your right arm across the chest, bend your knees like you're sitting back into the chair but with your legs together. And take the elbow to the outside edge of your left thigh. Bring your hands into a prayer position with your left elbow high. Press the left palm into the right palm and turn your chair in a twisting direction. Keep sitting back with the hips. Remember your arrow, the tailbone of the spine and the crown of the head away from each other. Take a full lengthening breath in your right side, your right waist gets long. And then as you exhale, your left side turns toward the ceiling. Inhale back up to centre. Exhale, the other side. Inhale, arms open. And then take your left arm, bend in your knees, sitting into your chair, and carry the left arm to the outside edge of your right knee or thigh. Place your palms together. Elbow high and press your top palm into the bottom palm to twist. And then feel, again, the tailbone and the crown of the head reaching away from each other, giving you a lengthening feeling in your spine. Breathe a lengthening breath into your left side and a twisting breath into your right side. Lengthening the left, twisting the right. And then inhale back up to centre. And exhale, release the arms down. Take your feet back to hip distance apart. Inhale, the arms come up. Hold onto your left wrist and give the left arm a little pull toward the right. So you're holding it with your right hand, but keep that left foot heavy, rooted into the floor. Inhale as you come back up, hold onto the right wrist. Pull with your left arm and just gently ease your body over. And then inhale as you come up, reach both arms up. And exhale, the arms come back down. I'll just come back to where you are on your mat, standing at the back end of your mat. So we'll bring a balance in called eagle balance or eagle pose. So if you inhale, lift the arms up. And then wrap your right arm underneath your left arm and keep ravelling the arms around as far as they'll go. Fingertips point to the ceiling. Sit down in your legs. Wrap your right leg as far round your left leg as you can. If you can get the toes to hook around the back of the leg it's wrapping round, that's what you're aiming for. If not, toes can just rest on the ground. Keep the arms steady, forearms pointing straight up. And then unravel. From your unravelling, bring the arms down. We're going to step the right foot forwards, a decent stride, and turn the left foot in, the heel in. So front foot points forwards, back foot turns slightly out. Inhale, arms open wide, revolved triangle, keep your hips facing forwards. And then take the left hand down to the floor, your right arm up in the air. Draw your right hip back. So in this revolved triangle, breathe long into your left waist and turn in your right waist. Breathe long into the left waist. Turn in your right waist. Then remember the arrows. Reach the tailbone back. Reach the crown of the head away from the tailbone of the spine. Long in your spine as you twist. As you exhale, bring that hand down to the floor and then bend that front knee just a little bit. Bring your hands onto your hips and come back up. And then step to the back of your mat. Turn your feet to point forwards. Eagle on the other side. Inhale as the arms lift. Left arm wraps under right arm. Lift the elbows, forearms forwards a little. Sit down and wrap your left leg around your right leg. Toes go as far round as you can. Keep a nice firm wrap of your arms and legs as you sit the tailbone down and the crown tall. Feel how you're using the foot on the floor. Even though the toes are down, can you be aware of how you use the sole of the foot? Inhale as you unravel. Exhale, arms down. Then step your left foot forwards. Turn your right heel in a little. Keep your hips facing forwards, arms open wide, inhale. And bring your right hand down on the inside edge of that left foot. Lengthen the tailbone away, the crown of the head forwards, and turn. If you can look up to the top hand, look up to the top hand. Breathe long into your right waist. Turn in your left waist. Breathe long into your right waist. Turn in the left. Then remember the arrow on the tailbone end of the spine reaches back. The arrow on the crown of the head reaches forwards. And those 2 points reaching away from each other creates length in your spine. As you exhale, look down. Bend the front knee just a little bit, hands on your hips, and then lift up. And then step back. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, hands into a prayer position, look forwards. Lower the chin to the chest, relax the arms down and roll your spine down. So as you roll your spine down, let the head be heavy, let the arms dangle. Feel your head get heavier to the ground and your bottom get lighter toward the sky. Walk forwards to a downward facing dog. Lift both heels high in your downward facing dog. So you're on the balls of the feet. Pivot round on the balls of the feet so that both heels pivot round toward the right. And then bend your right leg. Keep your left leg as straight as you can. Your left leg steps round behind your right leg so your little toes are next to each other. Keep your right leg bent as you lower your left heel toward the floor, press into your left hand and arch. Nice big arch in the left side. Push into the left hand to try and fan your left ribs and swing your hips over toward the right. Come back to centre, up onto the balls of the feet and pivot your heels toward the left. Bend your left leg, step your right leg round the back of the left leg until your little toes are next to each other. And then slowly start to lower your right heel toward the floor. Keep pressing into your right hand so you fan your right ribs out and swing the hips more over toward the left. Lift both heels, the legs come back to a regular downward facing dog with the heels relaxing toward the floor. We're going to try and take a stride forwards with your right foot landing next to your right hand and lower the back knee down to the ground. Make sure the front knee's over the front ankle and first of all just let your arms dangle down by your side. So you might want to block to the side of you if you can't quite touch the ground in this one. So we've got the right foot forwards, lift the left arm up in the air, lower the right hand toward the floor. Try not to lean forwards. If you can't go straight down and touch the floor, have a block there for your hand. And as you touch down on the ground, the left arm taking a side bend over, your hips are lunging forwards a little. So keep lunging forwards with the hips, bending over with the left arm. And then come back up to centre. Place both hands down onto the floor and tuck the back toes so the back knee comes off the ground. Walk your right foot round to the right edge of the mat until your toes are pointed off the mat. Turn onto the edge of your left foot. Make sure the ankle bone is off the ground. Your hand is beneath your shoulder. And then reach up your top arm toward the ceiling, your right arm looking up toward the front. A modified side plank. You're going to keep that bottom leg really strong and straight. As you lower your arm down toward the bottom foot, lower your hips down and take a stretch down the side, the outside edge of your body. Keep pushing firm into the hand on the floor so the arm stays straight. And then pull the arm and the hips back up again. Pivot round on the ball of that foot. Step back to your downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Drop the right knee to the ground. Lift and just lunge the hips forwards, let your arms dangle for a moment. Feel the weight of your pelvis going forwards a little, but stay nice and firm in that front foot, so your front foot's pressing against the sinking of your pelvis. Take your right arm up as you inhale. Exhale, lean over toward the left, landing on your left fingertips or a block if you can't reach the ground. Breathe and find space in the right side of your body. Inhaling as you come up. And then hands down onto the floor. Tuck the back toes and straighten the back leg. So I'm going to be turning away from you this time. So if you can walk your left foot, that's the one you've stepped forwards, walk it toward the edge of your mat until your heel is on the mat, the toes are off the mat. Turn onto the outside edge of your straight leg, your right leg. Balance your shoulder over your hand. Take the left arm up in the air and maybe look up. Squeeze your waist muscles upwards away from the ground. And then as your left arm lowers down towards your right heel, or your right foot, sink your hips toward the floor. They don't have to land on the ground, but just lower them down. Feel that stretch the outside line of your body. And then pull back up again, look back up toward that hand. Take your hand to the floor, pivoting round on the balls of the feet. Step back, and then go to a downward facing dog. In your downward dog, lift the heels, bend the knees, push the hips back. Start walking your hands towards your feet, open your knees, and then sit down in Malasana. So we have the toes very slightly turned out. In Malasana, we're sitting with the arms inside the legs. So I'm just going to turn around a little so you can see the feet are just a little bit wider than my sit bones. My arms are trying to draw down with the hands so that I create a straight line across the forearms. You might then need to take your hands just behind you to support your body as you lower your bottom to the floor so you don't crash down. And then bring the soles of your feet together, cobbler's pose. Hold the feet, lift the chest tall. Feel you're pointing the arrow of your tailbone, so the sit bones as well, everything pressing down into the ground to get the crown to lift taller. Bring your knees in together, straighten your right leg out. Put your left foot to the outside edge of your right knee. Hold on to the left knee and lift tall. Wrap your right arm around the left leg, left hand behind. Stay sitting tall as you twist, gaze over the back shoulder. Soften your tummy as you twist. Come back to centre. And then keep the leg crossed over as you roll down onto your back, and the straight leg is going to bend behind the one that's crossed over it. So at the moment, I've got my left leg crossed over the top of my right leg. So I'm going to shift my bottom slightly over to the left. Bring my knees toward my chest, still with the cross, and take my legs to the right. Once the legs land down, hold them with your right hand. Turn your chest toward the ceiling and look out toward your left hand. Feel it opening across the left side of the waist, the left chest, the left arm. And then you're going to bring the left arm round so you untwist. Release the legs. Push into your left hand and roll your way up to sitting so you come back round with the soles of your feet together. This time with the soles of the feet together and chest lifted, can you bring your right foot in a little closer? Again, I'll turn around so you can see that a little more easily. So the soles of the feet start together, and then we're just going to bring the right foot in a little closer. So the heel comes toward the pubic bone, and then the left leg crosses in front of the right. Bring the soles of your feet back together again. Hold the knees and bring them in. Straighten your legs out in front of you. So we're going to keep the right leg bent and put the foot to the outside edge of your left knee. Hold the right knee so it's pointing straight up. Lift tall. Wrap your left arm around the right leg. Right hand behind. Use your sit bones to press down, to lift the chest, to turn and look over the back shoulder. Be nice and soft in your face. Relax your forehead, soften the gaze. Almost feel like there's a breaking out of a smile behind the corners of the mouth. Coming back to centre. And then as you start to lay back, cross the straight leg behind your bent leg. Shift your bottom slightly over to the right. Bring your knees toward the chest and take your legs to the left. So I've got my right leg crossed, so I'm taking my legs to the left. Chest opens, and if you can then look out to your right arm, you can have your right arm out straight, or my preference, you can have your arm bent 90 degrees. Relax the belly, feel the twist. This opens nicely into the side body. I'm going to turn my back to you. So you turn your body in the direction of where your legs are. Coming back round, untwisting. Untwist the leg and push into your top hand to swing round. As you bring the soles of the feet back together again. This is called Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Hold the soles of the feet or hold the feet in order to lift tall. Stay tall. This time bring your left heel closer towards your pubic bone and then your right heel in front of the left. You can always sit on a block if you feel your knees are very high, or if there's any discomfort in your knees, put something under the back of the knees to support them. Bring the hands together in a prayer position. Close your eyes. And again, feel the movement of the bottom end of the spine down toward the earth. The top of your spine grows taller, as though the neck could push up to the back of the skull. The back of the skull gets taller and the crown of your head lifts up and open to the sky above. So you're using the ground to sit tall. Feel your waist long, feel your spine long. Breathe into the length of your spine. As you breathe and sit tall, feel not only your breath creating more height, more space in the spine, but also breathe out to your side ribs, your front ribs, your back ribs, so there's an expansion with the breath. When you exhale, feel yourself letting go. Let go of any tension. Let your mind feel lighter. Let your body feel freer. Think of your yoga practice as a way to let go so that you invite in something new to the space that you've let go from. As you breathe in, draw in the sense of light and radiance into your body. And as you breathe out, imagine it could shine out from every pore into the space that fills around you. When we bow our head in Namaste, we're bowing to this light, this radiance, the goodness in all of us. Namaste. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this practice.